Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole. I'm a Schulich leader at McMaster University, and I am here to present the next leader talk. So Atif Mahmud is a 2018 Schulich leader at the University of Waterloo. Having just completed a work term at IBM Watson, Atif has returned to the university to continue pursuing his degree in software engineering and Combinatorics and Optimization. Wow. This term, he's actively pursuing industry research opportunities in graph neural networks and meta-learning and is a co-director of Gaggle, an undergraduate AI research group at UWaterloo. We welcome Atif to the stage to present his leader talk, Flowy, Why We Build Disruptive Technology.
Hi there. So this photo is a little bit outdated. Just in the interest of time, I'll give a couple quick facts about me. First of all, I have a beard now. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I really like to read sci-fi. I'm currently reading a book called Arena by Frederick Brown. It's really good. I recommend it. If you want, you can talk to me later about ethical technology and digital citizenship. I'm really interested in that. If you want to find me at my socials, you can check me out at atif.tech. And if you have any business inquiries or anything like that, atif.mahmud@uwaterloo.ca. That's always where you can go. OK, so on to the goals of the talk. There we go. The first is that for the general audience, kind of appropriate considering the last talk, is that I want you to leave with a greater appreciation of nonconformity, OK? And for those of you who are a little bit more startup savvy, I want you to rethink your definition of what disruption means, because disruption in and of itself is a changing and ebbing and flowing definition. And for those of you who are kind of dozing off, I just want you to smile. That's it. OK, so the point of this talk, why we build disruptive technology. I think it's an important discussion to have, but before we have that discussion, maybe we should talk a little bit about what disruptive technology traditionally is. And also, how you know when you see it. So the term was first coined in 1995 by a professor named Clayton Christensen in the Harvard Business Review. And he was held to high acclaim by a lot of members of Silicon Valley for his definition. And it effectively is that disruptive technology is simply a new or emergent technology that displaces an established technology and changes the way that we do things. So if we take, for example, the process by which we take photographs, about 20 years ago, what you'd have to do is you'd have to take a picture with your camera, take your film, get it developed in a red room, wait several days, and then send it via post to whoever you want to distribute it to. This is a long and expensive process that didn't really make sense. And as a result of the digital revolution, we now just click a button on our phones, and all of our Facebook friends can see our photographs. Disruptive technologies, as Clayton Christensen describes, have two aims. First is that they want to capture a low-end market, and then as they scale up, they move upstream to higher value markets. Now, it's hard to kind of put that into definition, so I'll give you an example. This strategy is how Netflix went from being a rental DVD service into the behemoth of a media corporation that it is today, and toppled Blockbuster in just 2 years. And Blockbuster was the incumbent in the industry at the time. So what this talk really is about, though, is how the term disrupt has been overused in the vernacular of Silicon Valleyites over the course of the last couple of years. And Christensen makes a claim in his article, what is disruptive innovation, as of recently, suggesting that it's been mischaracterized and misused. And he points to Uber as an example of this. He argues that Uber is a sustaining innovation on top of the existing taxi industry. And this is where I have a little bit of a gripe with Mr. Christensen. And I believe that he gets something wrong here. And I want to discuss why I believe Uber is a disruptive innovation, and then follow that up with why we need disruptive innovation like Uber's. So Christensen argues in his initial article that traditional disruptive businesses focus on a demand-side theory of customer dependence. That is, it's focused on the demand and not the supply. Fine-tuning and refining your supply chain is the way to success. So it's not a supply-side theory. The problem this proposes is that he suggests that whether or not Uber is following a disruptive path to success, it's going to be a function of the customers that it serves, which suggests that he has a fundamental misunderstanding of what the customer is in the case of Uber. In a linear business model, disruptive theory or traditional disruptive theory works great. When you have value and information flowing in one direction from the supplier to the consumer, it's really easy to describe disruptive theory. However, businesses like Uber and Apple focus on something called network theory of disruption. And I think where the real value comes out of a network theory is not from the consumers, but rather from controlling the supply in a unique way. It's not a one-sided problem when it comes to Uber. As the network grows, a platform-type business like Uber, Apple, Google, et cetera, have the ability to cross into other markets by way of its network. So for example, Google started as a search engine, but is now the massive corporation that you see today only because of the network that it establishes. Okay, so why does this matter? Why does it matter that platform businesses are disruptive as opposed to what Clayton Christensen claims? It means that incumbents like Uber, like I said, can easily start from a position where they're not a disruptive industry, but very easily become a disruptive industry the very next day, via the example of Uber and Uber Eats, where they completely take over an entirely separate market sector overnight. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about Flowy and Flowy's philosophy. Flowy is the company that I've been working on for quite some time now, and platform disruptive businesses are a solution to a problem that I've been thinking about for quite a bit of time. And that is, in order to be competitively successful in a business, oftentimes you might have to sacrifice what your vision is of the world. Often, startup owners have this vision of what they want their reality to be like, and they have to sacrifice it in order to make their businesses work. Flowy takes the advantage of platform business, a platform disruptive business as part of its core philosophy. Flowy in action, just like a pretty basic discussion of it, it's a goal to unify cities and commercial hubs using Wi-Fi and mesh network technology in order to build streamlined flows for commerce, population management, and a variety of other city-based activities. I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but the whole point is that by way of taking into consideration that your producers are also your customers, you can take advantage of network disruption. And as a result, you can make better businesses for the future and, in fact, disrupt the definition of the word disruption itself. Okay, that's it for my talk. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.